Shut up, be quiet. Shut up, stop crying. You don't wanna.
Guys, this is Breaking Back 254 and you're watching Kenya vs Food. Na niko hapa, niko na Kibera kwa show ingine episode and so mbao. And today's competition, hey, someone called me for an interview. So I should interview him about his lifestyle, what he has been through. To Nigeria, tell us your experience when you were in Nigeria. How was it?
In Nigeria, when I went to Nigeria, it was fine. It was good.
Okay.
Hello, I went there because of music.
How was your experience? The lifestyle, the food, everything. How was it?
Nigeria. If you say Nigeria,
well, you were in Lagos, right?
Yeah, Lagos.
Hey, Lagos. That place. Hey, okay. So tell us, how was your experience? I heard the food you are eating. How was it compared to Kenyan stuff?
The food there is sweet. Yeah, it's sweet. You know that first time I went there at the hotel, I saw some fried meat, yani good sweet meat.
Okay.
I ate it yani lidishina asira, unajua.
Okay, you can also speak in Swahili, any language. You just feel free, any language.
Okay.
Yeah. Good meat.
Yeah, good meat. I didn't know, but after I ate it so well, I ate it until I removed my shirt, nimekula na arsira. Then they told me that this is any doggy. This is
dog.
This is a dog.
How was your reaction?
Yeah,
First time.
Yeah, I was so like, I was shocked. Yeah.
Because Kenyan government does not allow eating of cat, dog, even monkeys, stuff like that. But in Nigeria, that is the daily food. So actually, the government of Kenya is. But I think some people, I even posted. I was just posting my stories that what you say about dog, cat. People are just commenting. I never heard it anywhere in Kenya of people eating dog or cat or snake or anything like that. I only hear the first time I saw it in news, one person who was beaten to death, even in Mombasa, for catching a cat and eating. It was training all around. Someone eating a cat or cat.
Yeah.
So now, but do you feel like you can eat in hiding?
Maybe, but I'm scared. I don't want to end up like that person.
It's true. By the way, you have heard him. The government of Kenya should legalize eating of dog or cat or snake. What is your say about it? Have you ever eaten dog or cat? How did it taste? But I realized in carnivore they do crocodile crocodile meat.
Yeah.
And it's very sweet. Even snails. Snails are so sweet. Snails are so sweet. I mean, even in Nigeria.
Yeah, I think I will have to taste the snail.
Snails. Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was an interview by Kenyan versus Food. This is a guy who does a lot of food content in Kenya. He's a Nigerian, either Nigerian or West African, Ghanaian, but I think he's Nigerian. And he does basically content in Kenya about food. And you can hear from him that in Kenya, the government does not allow the eating of dogs, the eating of cats, the eating of bush meat is illegal. The only facility or the only hotel that has the license to hunt and eat bushmeat is carnivore. So if you feel like eating bushmeat, come to Kenya and go to carnivore. You will get whatever bushmeat you want. But if you want to go to communities, you will not get bushmeat. And there is no bushmeat market in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening to me from. This is Nyaluanga, your home of information. I'm stressing information because I look for that information and I bring it to you. I don't just come and talk. I look for information. My subscribers, kudos to you. I continue to salute you because you are amazing. You continue to follow me, to watch my videos, and you support me. Thank you. And those of you who are visiting and just watching, I also appreciate you. Welcome to Nyaluanga channel. please subscribe, hit the like button and share. Now, today we want to talk about a video that was made by Black Demon, aka Black Beauty TV, aka White Cosmetic TV. Now, these Nigerian YouTubers, including the older one, Granny Coco, they have been crying foul, crying foul, crying foul. Do you say foul or foul? Whatever. English is not my first language anyway. Because Dee Mwango made a video showing Nigerian bush market. This is the side of Nigeria they did not like and they did not want people to see. And yet, if you just click bush market on YouTube, you will get thousands and thousands of videos about bushmeat market from Nigeria. Thousands and thousands. In fact, when you click bush market, bushmeat, you don't get the China they are talking about. You don't get the Eastern Europe they are talking about. You don't get the Europe they are talking about or wherever else she was talking about. It's Nigeria that steals the show. And that is the truth. And everybody in the world knows about it. There are other countries where people eat bushmeat. We know China eats even more than Nigeria. But the fact is, if you go to YouTube, there are so many videos about bushmeat in Nigeria. That is a fact. There are also many videos about, bushmeat in China. A lot. And Chinese have never come out to complain. And even Nigerians, all this time, they have never come out to complain. There are all sorts of bushmeat videos from Nigeria. But suddenly, because this was done by Dee Mwango, the two Nigerian empty vessels on the reaction street came out to bash Dee Mwango. And that's why I am standing here or sitting here, whatever you may call it, to talk about this. Now, before I talk about the bushmeat, I'll address the things that she talked about. First of all, the beach, because her video was basically about Dee Mwango's video. So the first stop was where she gave those two guys some money. This lady now, she's making it so personal. Because she now comes to say, oh, in Kenya, there are poorer people. Even in Nyabohanse, there are people who are much poorer. And even in Kibera, the biggest slum in Africa, there are... Who has said no? Go to YouTube, you will find so many videos about Kibera. So many videos about Kibera. Have you ever had Kenyans coming to react about people who have done YouTube videos about Kibera? No, because we know this is reality, it's a fact, it exists, and therefore, let people see. So, there are homeless people in Nigeria. There are homeless people in Nigeria. And Dee happened to have seen two. So she decides out of her own heart to give them money. So why is that such a problem? I personally, if I'm traveling, I see somebody eating from... You see, we know there are people who are homeless. We know there are people who eat from the garbage. Be it in Kenya, be it Nigeria, be it USA, be it whatever. We know that. Everybody knows that. That is no secret. But if you come face to face with that situation, your reaction will automatically be different. And that was Dee's reaction. How many times have I even found somebody begging and I say, I feel, let me give them something. Not because I want to make a video out of it. No, but I'm a vlogger. So at that time, I'm making my video. So I document this. This is simply documentation. I will give that person that money because I feel in my heart that I should give that money. It's not because that money will buy them a house and set them out up somewhere, but for that day, at least, they will not have to go hunting for that food from the bin. That is exactly what Dee Mwango did. So if the woman from Germany cannot understand this, then it means she has never helped anybody living in the street, because she doesn't know how it feels. She ran away from that a long time ago, has been supported by a German husband, and therefore she feels she has arrived. She doesn't know what it feels to walk on the street and see another human being removing food from the garbage bin to eat it. And it's not the first time I've seen somebody making this kind of video. I even see it in Europe so many times. People giving money to people who are begging or who are on getting food from the bin. I've seen that very many times. I even watched this guy who I don't know what he's called. I've forgotten his channel. This one who pays the bill for you. He comes to the supermarket. He looks at you and sees that, looks at you and assesses you, and then says, "I'll pay the bill for you. Pick whatever you want," and you pick, and he pays the bill for you. People are usually shocked by that, and he documents it, not because he wants to show off, but because he wants to help somebody. So if Dee felt that she wants to help somebody, why is it itching this woman? Is it because she has never done such a thing? Her friend Coco was in Nigeria the other day. She turns a blind eye to the realities that happen in her own country because she wants to show how classy she is. But the reality is, class is there, but all these other things are there. And thank you, kudos Dee, for giving those two boys money to go and at least have a proper meal on that particular day. So if it pinches this woman so much, let her cry in her room. Let her cry on her video. Let her spew her verbiage in whichever way she wants. But what you've done, you've done. And we have seen it, and God has seen it, and those boys saw it. So as far as she's concerned, oh, you are not giving them money because you want to give them money. You're giving them money because you want to show their environment. But so what? Dee is a travel vlogger. Why do we travel? We travel to see different places. We travel to see and document different environments. We travel to showcase how people live, what they eat, what their struggles are, what their challenges are. This is why travel vloggers travel. So they show you what people actually do and what they go through and where they live. That is what travel vloggers do. How many YouTubers have come to Kenya and showcased, for example, the slums like Kibera, like Madare? Even David Jr. did some video. If you go back to his YouTube videos, you'll find one of his videos was about some slum. Why didn't this woman come and react about it? How about Lenny and Vin when they were together? They did a lot of videos from Kibera, the same Kibera that she's talking about. Even Kenyans do that. They showcase videos about Kibera, about the slums. It's not anything strange. So what is special about Nigeria that the dirty side should not be shown? What is really so special? What are you trying to hide? That you don't want the other side of Nigeria to be shown? At least Dee has given us the opportunity to see where these two fish-faced women come from. We want to understand where they ran away from, why they ran away. Now we understand, and why they hate Africans. Because probably, who knows, this black demon could have been one of those boys. Maybe she could have been the sister who managed to run away, so she doesn't want to look at her past. It pains her so much. This thing pained her so much. Oh my God, she was so pained by this video of Dee Mwango showing these two guys and giving them money. Look, you can never hide your past, my dear. It will always catch up with you, and yours has definitely caught up with you. Now let's stop at the beach. We love water. Dee Mwango loves water. Be it in Miami, be it in Mexico, be it in Jamaica, wherever it is, be it in Mombasa, she loves the water. And she will look for water If it's there, she will look for a beach if it's close by. And that is basically what she did. She went to a beach in Lagos. And what did she find? That when you reach the gate, you pay an entrance fee of 5,000 naira, which is fine. There are many beaches in Kenya where you actually pay an entrance fee. But usually, let me tell you, that fee that you pay in Kenya goes to the Kenya Wildlife Society. It doesn't go to an individual. It goes to the Kenya Wildlife Society. There was a time when beaches in Kenya had been privatized, so there was only a few beaches were left for the public. I remember one of them used to be called, I don't know whether it was Kenyatta or something beach, I can't remember. I went there when I was a long time ago. But because people felt these are natural resources, they should be open to the public. Most of the beaches were deprivatized and made public. So that's why you find, for example, that if you go to Mombasa right now, most of the beaches that used to be, is it beaches or beaches, whichever, anyway, English is not my language. Like my Yugno said, English is not vegetable. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So if you go to Mombasa right now, you'll find that most of the beaches are not private. You can walk from one side of the beach to the very other end and pass in front of those very luxurious hotels, and there will be no problem. You will not have to pay. But if you go to a beach where you have to pay 5,000 naira to enter at the gate, then after you've paid that, you have to pay, for example, how much? That 5,000 naira will only allow you to walk along 100 meters of that beach. 100 meters from one side to the other, and it's demarcated. If you want to go to the other 100 meters, you pay. That is ridiculous for anybody. I know in Mombasa, once you've paid the Kenya Wildlife Society entrance fee, the seats or the tables or what do I call it? If you want to sit down, you'd have to go to a restaurant and eat food. So you will sit in the restaurant, but you'd have to buy a food or a drink or something. If you want to lie on the bed, beach bed, you'd have to pay. These ones are privatized. The locals run most of those businesses. There are restaurants that have their own for their customers, but there are also private enterprises that have those beds. So you pay for the bed. You can walk along the beach, you can sit on the sand, you can sleep on the sand. But if you want to lie on the bed, you pay, because these are run by private enterprises. This was a way of creating employment for the young people and for the locals, so that hotels do not monitor natural resources that belong to the people of Kenya. Many of these hotels are private owned. So the people of Kenya must also benefit from their resources. So the beaches are free. Kenya Wildlife Society benefits, but the youngsters or locals also benefit, because they can sell you a table, you can buy a table from them, you can pay for an umbrella for that day, and just enjoy the beach. But there is no way you can pay for 100 meters of beach. If you want to go to the other side, you pay another amount, and if you want to go to the other side, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever had. And I had Parrot Carrot reacting and saying, oh, even if you go to Mombasa, you know that you have to pay. Have you ever paid in Mombasa and walked for 100 meters and asked to be paid for the next 100 meters? Have you? Then I think you don't know Mombasa. You need to carry yourself from that seat where you're sitting and go to Mombasa and see what the beaches exactly are like. I was in Mombasa in August last year, 2023, for 10 days, and I spent most of my time at the beach in Diani. And you can walk from one side of the beach to the other side of the beach. If you're tired, you want to eat something, go into a restaurant and eat. but you are free to enjoy the beach, walk on the water, sit on the sand, play on the sand, play volleyball, play football, play whatever, and nobody bothers you. The only person who bothers you are the beach boys. Beyond that, there is no collection, there is nothing that you pay. So Carrot, that is a lie. You see how these people lie because they want to talk about Dee. And you know, it's so interesting that Madam Carrot can parrot her mouth here talking about Dee, and yet a Nigerian woman abuses them every day, abuses these negative reactors every day, and she cannot even open her mouth to respond because she's too weak and too scared to respond. All of them, they are too scared to respond. They are abused every day by some Nigerian woman about how weak they are, how useless they are. And yet, they leave that woman who is abusing them and they come to talk about somebody who is creating her own content. How foolish are you? How foolish are you? But today is not about the parrot. Today I'm talking about the black demon, aka White Cosmetic TV, because she always talks about Nairobi, but she doesn't know anything about Kenya. And you know what is so interesting about her reaction? That everything that Dee Mwango said about Nigeria, she reacted by talking about Kenya. That is competition. That is not reaction. This is a jealous woman because Dee showed some things that she never ever wanted anybody to talk about Nigeria. Now, so when Dee came out and talked about, for example, in Mombasa, it's not like this. She says, this is not Mombasa. This is Nigeria. Don't be talking nonsense about Nigeria. You know, I was so tickled. I was so tickled. Why shouldn't she compare? We always compare. That's why we know what we have and what we don't have. When she went to the UK and they were in the train station, wasn't she comparing, talking about, oh, in Germany, we don't have it like this, we do this? Weren't you talking about Germany? Why were you comparing? Now, just recently when Marwa was talking about the child's visas process, this same woman came out to talk about why Marwa, it will take Marwa, I don't know how many years to get the Argentinian residence visa, because in Germany, this is what you do. Oh, I did this exam and then I did this. Weren't you comparing? Who asked you about Germany? Then there was this time when she was talking about Nairobi teacher's illness and how people collected money for him to pay his hospital bill. She still came out and told us she doesn't know how it is in Kenya, but in Germany, they have the government pays medical for their citizens, they have insurance, so etc., etc. She came out to tell us that. Why was she comparing? Who asked her? So in short, what this lady is telling us that her, as Black Demon, she has the exclusive right to compare things, compare places, compare institutions, and whatever else. But Dee Mwango should not compare. She has no right to compare because she has not, White Beauty TV has not yet given her the green card to compare anything. So she's not allowed to compare. In fact, every time Dee Mwango goes somewhere and says, oh, in Kenya is like this, she comes and says, this is not Kenya. Why are you comparing? And yet she's always telling us in Germany it's like this, in Germany it's like this. Why are you telling us about Germany? We are not interested. We don't even want to come there. So because of all this, she was so angry. And she was so angry with Dee. This is an angry, evil woman. Jealous woman. She goes to Nigeria. That's her home. Don't you go to Nigeria? So if you go there, please go and show us the side of the beach that you want us to see. Go and show us the things that you want us to see. Your friend Coco Mama was in Nigeria recently. What did she show us? We didn't see anything yet. That's her home. She should have been showing us her home. Why didn't she show us all those beautiful things that you are talking about? I don't know. Go and ask her. So let me ask you, are you reacting or are you angry that Dee shed light on the other part of Nigeria that we have never seen? We know in Nigeria there are pickpockets. But now because Dee said that it showed those guys who are eating from the bin and she gave them money, this woman comes to say, oh, you're talking about people eating in the bin, and yet in Nairobi you cannot even carry your phone. There are pickpockets. As if there are no pickpockets in Lagos. Or is it Lagos or is it Lagos? There are pickpockets there. There are pickpockets there. There are even Yahoo boys. And there are even other forms of scammers. So, pickpockets are everywhere, even in the UK, even in America, even in that Germany of yours. They are there. The only place where we can say is safe, there are no pickpockets, is in the Middle East. The UAE, for example, maybe Qatar, maybe Saudi Arabia, yes. But in these other countries, my dear, they thrive, they live, they grow. They are there. So why are you angry? And in any case, this video was not about phone snatchers in Nairobi. This video was about Nigeria. So if you are reacting, react about this video. But if you want to do an expose about Nairobi, its slums, its pickpockets, welcome. Welcome. Come and do an expose. Come and do the expose, my dear. Because I think you're really, really, really wishing to come to Nairobi. That is your desire. Come. Madam Carrot will host you. You have so many people, like you say, you have so many people in Abuja. You also have so many people in Nairobi. You have Carrot, you have On Trending, you have Nairobi Teacher, and you have, what is this other man who lives in Kenya, is married to a Kenyan, Kung Fu Fanta, and all those other people. I don't know whether he's married to a Kenyan, but I know he lives in Kenya most of the time. His wife is in Kenya. Anyway, so you are welcome, my dear, you are welcome. But if you can't come, tell Kung Fu Fanta to do the expose for you. He'll do it for you. So you can also parade it on YouTube Street. But let Dee Mwango do her content the way she wants to do it. You are not her headmistress. You are not her principal. She does not need authorization from you. She even brought in Mama Ann's house. And she even brought in nyabohanse. How people in nyabohanse are poor. How they look at them. They have no houses. They have houses. Those are their homes. Their homes are built out of mud. That is the traditional African homestead. Some of them are plastered on the outside. And even if you go to Nigeria, you will find those kind of houses in the villages. Even if they are built of stone, if you go inside, the inside will be the same. The only difference is Nigerians do not show people the inside of their houses. They don't even allow you to go inside their house. When in Kenya, we are an open book. We show you what we have. But let me tell you, that person in that homestead, like Mama Ann, at that time, their house was terrible. It was not a terrible house. It was a reasonable house by that standard. It had a roof. The roof was leaking, but they had chairs in that house. They had a small TV in that house. They had whatever they needed in that house. That is better than somebody who is living and eating from garbage, because I grow my vegetables, I grow my grain, I make my ugali. So, he's much better than somebody who has to eat from the garbage every day. Did you see Anne or the mother or the brothers or sisters eating from the garbage? They lacked certain things, yes. But they were not desperate enough to be going to nyabohanse to pick things from the garbage to come and eat. And if you look at all these people that you call poor in nyabohanse, each one of them have their piece of land. They grow their vegetables, they grow their grain. So they basically get their own food from the garden. You have not seen any one of them going to the garbage to pick food to bring home for their children to eat. So that was a very, very inaccurate comparison. Inaccurate comparison. Inaccurate comparison. And that's why you find people relocating to Kenya, because life is cheaper. You might have a house that is really not so. There are people who are building houses in Nyabohanse right now, even the famous Pasi. But it doesn't mean that she didn't have a house. It was not up to the modern standard, yes, but she had a house. And she was not buying food from the garbage. And even in Nigeria, you have children who walk barefoot. You have children who walk in tattered clothes. So basically, the difference is similar. So I don't see, the only difference is that you live in Germany. But everything else that happens in Kenya is the same as what happens in Nigeria. So the nyabohanse is not any different from that village in Abuja or wherever else you came from, or in Nugu or whatever. No. So don't be deluded. Have you seen videos from that, I don't know whether it's called Delta State or where, this place where they mine or they get oil, where they have these guys who siphon oil from the pipelines. Do you see how those people live? Do you see those villages? Have you seen those fishermen? So what are you saying here, my dear? What are you saying here? What are you saying? So if we start comparing, we can talk until the day ends. So if you're doing your reaction, do your reaction. But don't you take whatever Dee says and then you want to use it to abuse another person or say, oh, Kenyans are like this. Your reaction is not about Kenyans. Your reaction was about Dee Mwango's video. And this just tells us that basically you are not a reactor. You are an evil, jealous woman who wants to follow a young girl who is building herself because you are jealous and you cannot do the same thing. The other complaint was that Dee was showing the road. She was not showing any meaningful content. She's wasting people's times. Roads are important. Before we see the houses that we want to see the roads that take us to those houses. We want to see the roads and want to see what kind of roads there are in Nigeria, so that if the next person comes and they want to travel, they'll know which road to take and which one to leave. So Dee Mwango, please show us the roads. Show us the roads. If she wants to show us houses and beautiful places, let her go to Nigeria herself or send her crony, the Coco woman. And this video was not for you. It was for her and her subscribers. And as long as her subscribers enjoy it, it's none of your business. Oh, get out of the car and walk and show us places. No, she doesn't have to get out of the car. Dee, you don't have to walk. You can choose to ride. You can choose to take a taxi. You can choose to take a motorbike. Or if you decide you want to walk, then walk. This same woman went to London the other day. And I've said this over and over again. What did you show us from London? Nothing. Nothing. Go back to your channel and let's see the things you showed us about London. Now, Dee is in Nigeria. You are already telling her what to show you, dictating what she should show you and what she shouldn't show you. You went to London. What did you show us? I thought you were going to show us amazing things about London, places you went, things you did. Oh my God, there was nothing. There was nothing. Dee did not go to Nigeria for you. So, if these subscribers are okay with the content she's sharing, I am fine with it. So your no quality content phrase only applies to you. Dee, my dear, do what pleases you. Do what pleases you. If this witch wants to go to Nigeria and see Nigeria, let her hop on the plane and go there. The tickets are there. Isn't she rich? You can afford to take a ticket. Buy a ticket and go to Nigeria and show us these things in a better way. So what is she doing sitting there? Why is she sitting there? Why isn't she on the plane? She should have been on the plane like yesterday. If you're somebody, you have given somebody a job and they are doing it badly, you take over. You take over and do it the way you want to do it. That's how it is, even in offices. So, do it or shut your mouth. And to show how petty this woman is, she came to say, oh, tomatoes in Kenya are sold one by one, okra one, pepper one. Her friends in Kenya have told her that. Oh my God, when you want to see ignorance, oh my God, and ignorance displayed on YouTube, on the internet, is the most interesting. The same people who are telling you that they buy one are the same ones who talk about how there's plenty of food in Kenya, fruits, vegetables in plenty and cheap. Those same people, you buy one, you buy one. If you go to even any supermarket, you can buy a kilo, you can buy 2 kilos, you can buy 10 kilos, you can buy 100 kilos, whatever your pocket says. And if you go to the women who sell on the market or in the streets, you can buy wholesale, you can buy a tray, you can buy for 10 shillings, you can even buy for 1 shilling. So if your friend decided to buy one, that is her problem, and that's according to her pocket. If she decided to buy 1 okra, that's her problem. That's according to her pocket. But nobody will come and tell you tomato is 1. You can buy one tomato for 10 shillings because that's what your pocket can afford. But you can also buy a kilo if you want. My God, this woman gives me a headache. This woman just gives me a headache when I think of how, oh my God, how can somebody be so... This woman is insane. Like David always says, she's insane. She's sick. In fact, she's sick. She needs to go to the hospital. Her husband needs to be notified that the wife is really, really sick. And she kept saying, oh, this is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Of course, we all know it's Nigeria. It's even written on Dee Mwango's videos. And people travel because they want to learn. They want to experience. That's why people travel. And the person who travels informs you. Like, for example, Dee Mwango showcased the bush meat market. Why did she do that? Because she wanted us to learn about this new culture that we don't know about. So this lady came around and started talking about how people in Kenya eat dogs, how people eat bats, how people eat termites. Yes, we eat termites. I eat termites. In fact, I enjoy them. They are a delicacy and they are so rich in protein. But bushmeat, she went and got one TikToker who did a TikTok cooking a bat. That is one TikToker cooking a bat. She brings that online and says Kenyans eat bats. She went to this guy whose voice I've put at the beginning of this video, Kenya versus food, and picked, the thumbnails that she has. Those are the exact thumbnails in Kenya versus Food's video. This exclusive video about this guy who traveled to Nigeria and ended up eating dog meat. And he said after eating it, he discovered it's really not bad. And the guy also comes out and says very, very clearly, Kenya government does not allow, it's illegal to eat hunt and eat bushmeat in Kenya. It's illegal. Kenyans don't eat bushmeat. There are people who eat bushmeat, yes. But in Kenya, this is something that is very rare. A man eating a dog is so rare. That's why it was even in the news. It was trending in the news. The guy even says it was trending in the news. What does trending in the news mean to you? You don't know. Have you ever seen a bushmeat market anywhere in Kenya? No. But there are bushmeat markets all over Nigeria. There are markets where these animals are brought and sold. And that guy even said If people like the guy in Mombasa who was beaten to death because of eating a cat, people don't entertain those kind of things. Once in 19, I don't know whether it was 1980, when there was extreme famine and people in some provinces ended up eating dog meat. That is under very severe circumstances, like when there's a war. Let me give an example. When there was Biafra war in Nigeria, people ended up eating all sorts of things. And that's the truth. When there are certain extreme circumstances and people are forced to eat certain things to survive, it doesn't mean that is their culture. I'll give you an example. Have you ever watched 14 Alive? 14 Alive is a story, a true story about this rugby team that was traveling from Spain. Were they going to Spain or were they coming from Spain? And then they crashed in the Andes mountains. Now, the search team looked for them, and eventually the search team was called off. These young people spent, I think, is it 72 days or 90, whatever days, in the Andes. Many of them died. Out of a whole plane carrying about 200 people, my numbers might not be accurate. Only 14 survived. Only 14 survived. And do you know how they survived? By eating the flesh from the dead, frozen bodies of their friends and their colleagues. That's how they survived. And they lived to tell the horror story. They lived to tell the horror story. So when that happens, do you come and say, oh, these people eat people? Do you come out and say, oh, they eat people? No. The thumbnail you put there of dog meat being barbecued was done by that guy. In fact, I wonder whether that was all dog meat. That was a thumbnail by, what is his name? Kenya vs. Food, in his channel, just to get people to go and watch. But there was nobody barbecuing dog. There was nobody barbecuing dog. And that was the thumbnail you put there. But your story was about this guy who was caught eating dog, and that is the story that trended in the news for a long, long time. Because people discovered that this guy was actually eating dog, snake, whatever. That doesn't happen in Kenya. So my dear sister, before you come with a video here to put it here and say, oh, I do my research, what research did you do? I did research, I read, I went to different clips, and I found the videos that you had put to support what you are talking about. A TikToker who decides to venture into bat eating. This the bushmeat market that Dee Mwango photographs, were there people who were there TikTokers who had ventured into bush market selling? I've even seen videos of people hawking bushmeat on the road, selling to motors passing by. That's a very common video. Those are many videos like that from Nigeria. So please, don't confuse people here. Do not confuse people. And don't use the wrong information to pass propaganda. Kenyans don't eat dog meat. Kenyans don't eat cats. So if you eat that, that's your problem. That is your problem. And if under such circumstances somebody finds themselves eating these animals, is because they are under duress for one reason or another. Like I said, just like during the Biafra war, have you asked those who are there the things they ate to survive? Have you asked them? No, you haven't. And you cannot use that to come and start talking about an entire community. But bushmeat markets exist in Nigeria. So what is your problem if Dee showcases the bushmeat market? And the women were happy to show her. She was laughing. Yes, she laughs because, I mean, she's a YouTuber. She's supposed to enjoy what she's doing. It doesn't mean she's laughing at them. She was laughing with them. And the women also enjoyed the experience. At the end of it all, she paid them something. I don't think she came and told them, I want to buy bushmeat. No. She must have made her intention clear. She wants to see. And that's why at the end of it all, she paid them something. So this woman she just YouTube videos are there. Vloggers do their vlogging to inform us, to entertain us, to educate us. So by watching Dee Mwango's video about the beach, I was informed about something I never knew about. By doing a video about the bushmeat market, I was informed about something I might not have known about. By showing that there are people who actually are homeless even in Nigeria, I was informed about something that I might not have known about. So this is what vloggers do. The teachers, the educators, the informers. But if you are daft, even if you're taken to school, you will always be daft. You will always wonder what the teacher is saying. And because you will not have understood what the teacher is saying, you will not have seen the bigger picture because your mind is narrow. It's so narrow. You cannot think beyond the food that you eat in Germany. And that's why you're telling us, oh, me, I don't eat snail. I don't eat. Who asked you? Me now, am I talking about what I eat? Because nobody has asked me. I'm talking about your video. So why should I talk about the things that I do? It's none of my business. And it has nothing to do with my reaction. I'm talking about the nonsense that you brought online. And then because of her anger, she's inciting people against Dee. And if anything happens to that girl, you will be held responsible. You will be held responsible because you are inciting people to do nasty things to Dee. Yet, the same video Dee Mwango has done about bush market have been done by so many people. There are many people who have talked about bushmeat market in Nigeria. So many people. So now you want to incite people to go and harm her? And Dee, if you are going to Abuja, please, don't even listen to this woman. This is an evil woman who can even send people to come and harm you. From the way she's talking, I can see she has very, very evil intentions about you. So take care of yourself and may God bless you. My subscribers, this was just a video intended to educate a woman who came up to tell people that Dee Mwango's videos were insightful, were disrespectful, and she just wants to show the bad side of Nigeria. And yet we all know that as a vlogger, you show us what you see at that time when you're walking. If this was your plan, this is where you wanted to start. You show us what you see, who you meet, who you talk to, where you go, how you do it. That is what vlogging is about. And if she doesn't like it, let her swallow the razor blade. My dear subscribers, if you have reached the end, please hit the like button and share my video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. May God bless you.